What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching this video. Before we get into the video, I want to let you know about an awesome giveaway that's going to happen once we hit 1,000 subscribers. I will be giving away 6 tiles in the USA that's currently valued over $300. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay out for more. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the Snoke Show. Today we have a special guest from the Kraken, Smoj. Everybody, say hi to Smoj. Smoj, how are you doing today?
Good, thanks, mate. Nice to be here, Cody. Good to meet you.
Yes, you as well, and thank you so much for being a part of the show. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm excited for you to be a part of here. I know the last 24 hours in Earth 2 have actually been pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty out there. Good to see, actually. A little bit of movement. It's been pretty stagnant for a long time.
It has been, yes.
Hmm.
I know with those islands that were being released. Now, did you actually were able to buy any of those islands at Class 1 or even Class 2 at a good price?
Yes, I was. Luckily we've got a lot of good guys in the guild who were straight onto that. And one of the guys, Ronald, posted it, and bang, it was on. I think he got in pretty quickly. I had a look at the tile sales curve, and we got in pretty much bang on the money. I started buying tiles. I think I got some at about 13 cents.
Oh, wow.
But within minutes, the price started rising. It wasn't nearly as crazy as Dubai, which was fantastic. It was so much a better experience than Dubai was. So I applaud them for doing it that way. It seemed to work.
So, okay, that's actually one of my next questions. So, I know there's been a lot of discussion about it, especially in the Earth 2 official Discord. A lot of people have been upset, a lot of people have been happy. And so, I understand that you're pretty happy about it. You were able to get in pretty cheap, correct?
Well, obviously, same as Dubai, they're always going to be in any release like that. You're going to have winners and losers, and people. The worst thing at this point was, and probably the best thing as well, was that it wasn't, a time countdown sort of thing. So a lot of people weren't. Nobody was aware of it, I guess.
Right.
It just happened to be the people who were on the watching it at the time who managed to pick it up. So yeah, it was pretty lucky, pretty unlucky for some. So it's always going to be the way.
And it definitely spread quick. I know
Mm.
I actually woke up this
Mm.
morning and my Discord was going off, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second. So I was checking it, and I was like, oh man, I gotta. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to buy any Class 1 properties, but I still got a
Mm.
lot of Class 2 at like 20 cents a tile, so I'm excited about
Mm.
that. um,
It's the class ones went pretty quick. I couldn't give you a time frame. I mean, not long at all. Maybe 20 minutes or something. They were all gone,
right.
and maybe longer. I don't know, but yeah, they went pretty fast. That was kind of to be expected as soon as people started seeing it. I mean, I shelled out. I got I ended up buying 3 750 blocks in the end, one for somebody else. But I don't have a big budget, and I wasn't particularly saving for anything apart from my mortgage. So
Right.
I saw the opportunity and just went for it. And same as Dubai, everybody who got in, who managed to get those 750 blocks, good on them. I didn't get a single tile out of Dubai. So it's good to see the newer guys getting some 750 blocks. It might be one of the last times people can buy 750 blocks at an affordable price. So yeah,
That
it
is
was a good
true.
thing. Hmm.
Even myself, unfortunately, I don't have any 750 tile blocks yet. I've
Hmm.
heard speculations that they might be opening up other countries, and I definitely want to try
Yeah.
my best to be a part of those and get at least one 750 plot. So that, yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all early adopters, even at this stage of the game where it seems like it's pretty late. I mean, we're still in phase one, and,
Definitely.
phase two seems to be sneaking in now, which is great. But we're still early adopters. So we're, well ahead of the pack that's going to be coming later. So 750 blocks are great. And we can all, I can complain about, I got in on the 1st of January, and obviously would have been much better if I'd been in November. You know,
Right.
you see a lot of those date stamps at 4th of November for some fantastic buys. It would have been great to be in there then, but I'd much rather be getting into this game now rather than in 6 months' time, for example.
I
So,
agree 100%. I think as you said, we're still in phase one and phase two. We are getting hints of, and they've been. I understand they delayed Essence and EPLs, but that's okay. I'm excited for what
mm,
they're doing and what they're coming with. Now, you said that you originally started in like the first couple weeks of January, correct?
mm. Yeah,
So,
that's right. 1st of January, New Year's Day. Actually, my mate gave me a ring, and I was in.
so how did he
Yeah.
explain it to you? Like, what? How did you hear about it?
He look, he had me within the first couple of sentences. So I think he said something like it's showing Bitcoin like growth. It's a game. It uses real money, and it's only been out for a couple of months. And those three things instantly kind of got me thinking that. I mean, I was pretty well hooked into finding out more about it, and I did. I deep dived into it and basically started buying, tiles. And from there, it's the moment you start buying tiles that you start to really understand, the complexity of the game. It's just playing squares on the ground. That's fine, and people can talk about Bitcoin profits and all this kind of thing. But it's when you actually start buying the tiles that you start, feeling the psychology of the game.
And it's definitely
Defining
addicting.
is it is, yeah. You start off with a couple of tiles and go, oh, they were, not the greatest tiles. Maybe if I buy some on the coast, and then, what about this other country? And what about, oh, USA's going great, but what if I go for cheaper tiles instead? You start defining a strategy pretty early on, and that was the game at that point. There was very little else apart from just trying to choose the best tiles and anticipating what was going to come next.
Right. And you
Mm.
said like that was your strategy. Has your strategy actually changed from when you first started in January to buying tiles to now?
Oh, absolutely. In the first couple of weeks of the game, strategies were changing, almost hourly, definitely daily, and that was across the board. It When I started, people still thought the buildings were going to be in the game, and that. So you see the early, first gen cities are all based around landmarks and roads and city type areas. So that was one thing that changed the game and the strategy quite dramatically.
Right.
Was finding out that buildings weren't going to be in the game, and from that point we saw some amazing changes. The whole city concept changed completely. And then mega cities came along, and then more structured cities, and I mean, that alone, just the city aspect of it, has changed dramatically over several months. The rate of change has slowed a little bit at the moment, because there's a lot less experimentation. But as soon as phase two kicks in, I think we're going to go back to square one again, where we're all going to be, double guessing each other, trying to work out what the best strategies are, and there'll be more than one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you talk about mega cities because
Mm.
there are so many mega cities, and you actually created a mega city if I'm not mistaken, Pirate Bay, correct?
Yeah. Look, I tend to shy away from the name mega city. I think it's a bit of a buzzword. I really don't like buzzwords so much, but
Oh, okay.
it's not very well defined. What I saw in the early days of the mega city were future slums. A lot of people just plonking down tiles in a frenzy, in an uncoordinated way, and without too much of a clear, idea of where they were heading. Nowadays, you see the cities are a lot better defined,
Oh, definitely.
and yeah, much better, and with multiple purposes and a pretty much clear vision of what's going to go ahead. So Pirate Bay was a kind of a first gen city where I just ended up trying to buy as many tiles as possible, and I didn't set up infrastructure or anything along those lines. I basically wanted a big play area,
And
to play
I'll actually
pirates.
show the link right now on screen as
Yeah,
well.
cool. All right.
And then, so everybody that's watching, this is currently Pirate Bay. Actually, not currently. This was when he first started Pirate Bay. And what date was this on?
I think if you're looking at the 13th of January,
Okay.
that so that was about. I think I started building Pirate Bay about the 5th of January, 4th of January, sometime around then. So that's basically a week and a half into me sort of building that Pirate Bay. It got a bit bigger after that. And as you can see in that, in that graphic, there's not a lot of co-investment. It's basically me buying a bunch of tiles.
Right, and so you said it was like so you started Earth 2 on January 1st, New Year's Day, and
Mm-hmm.
you already got into Pirate Bay and got it created within a couple days. That's awesome.
Yeah, I jumped in with both feet. I started off with a $10 budget, and then now I'm at the point where I can barely afford cat food. So
Well, I feel you on that. So
yeah,
I want to show you this. I want to show the viewers other image you sent me, and this is Pirate Bay.
sure.
You said it was 2 weeks afterwards, correct?
Yeah, 29th of January. So
Yeah.
in you can see a lot more development in that time.
And you see the
And
Skull and Bones
yes,
flag. That is
yeah, the
awesome.
Jolly Roger. Pixel art was kind of it wasn't as big as it is now. So we started getting a bit more pixel art around the area, and the Skull and Crossbones was great, and it just opened the door for a lot of other really cool pixel art around.
That is true, and I don't remember the first pixel art I've actually seen while in the game, but when I came across
Mm.
a few, I'm like, why didn't I think of this? This is awesome. And then like a lot of people started making their own designs, and I've seen some amazing tile art.
Mm.
And that's not like that. I don't even think that was intended by the developers. So I think that's awesome that the users of Earth 2 are creating their own, tile art, their own place, everything.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm not the greatest fan of tile art as far as being the most functional building plots in the game. I suspect a boring old square block is probably going to be a little bit more functional. But
I agree.
the tile art is fantastic. It's just amazing how much effort people have been putting into it and how good some of these tile arts look. So they're great for attracting investors in the city and great for promoting a city. So, people look at a nice piece of tile art and basically, you're thinking that somebody's putting effort into this. It's not just a random bunch of tiles slapped down on the land. When people put effort into it, into a city, it shows.
Definitely, I 100% agree. And I know we were talking about Pirate Bay.
Mm,
Now I understand you also started a Discord called the Kraken.
mm.
Can you explain a little bit of the difference between the Kraken and like the Pirate Bay?
Yeah, sure. You spoke about, in your previous video, you touched on the guild versus cities, and in my mind, the cities are the vehicle for investment, and the guild is the organisation behind that investment, and you get a bunch of like-minded people working together. So the organisation of the guild allows multiple people to work together and
Hmm.
work with the city. So with Pirate Bay, for example, one of the reasons I started the Discord was that it was impossible to communicate with other people about the project. And I'd been promoting Pirate Bay for some time and trying to build up I guess, a guild. But the only way to do that was to start a Discord. I mean, you can't really search for individual users, and you might, get lucky and find them on the E2 official, for example. Back in those days, was a lot more
Hmm.
active and a lot less whining. Basically, it was a much more constructive Discord channel back in those days.
Definitely.
Um, so the main thing was to be able to communicate with other investors, and I was getting investors in there, but I didn't know, who they were. We couldn't sort of come together for a common purpose. So I started the Discord, and pretty much immediately started getting members as well. Deacon was the first to join, and he was a good guy, and I didn't want to set up an authoritarian state, so I made it so that we were both the same rank, and it kind of like a committee type approach. So you got the good points and bad points with the committee approach. I just didn't want to see one person affecting the entire guild process with their own particular pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses. So by having a more of a corporate style committee approach, it allows everybody to contribute, and we don't always agree, and there can be problems with that. Democracy is its own worst enemy sometimes.
Definitely.
But it was definitely all about promoting an egalitarian kind of society where we all work together and get the job done, not based on one person's ego or ideas or limitations or strengths.
Definitely.
So that was how the Discord started. Put Decon on as an admiral, and we started recruiting other guys pretty quickly. And I wouldn't say overnight, but very quickly we're at well over 600 people at the moment. So
Nice.
The early days when we were scratching around, just two of us, scratching around in the dirt buying tiles, it's come a long way since then.
Definitely, and I see that you have the website e2kraken.com. I'll actually post that in the description of this video as well, so that people can click on and understand a little bit more about the Kraken as well.
Yeah, thanks, Cody.
Of course, and so I want to actually talk a little bit about NFTs. I understand that you actually got your own NFT card, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what is it like? What is it like having your own NFT card?
Pretty weird, actually. I've seen my photo on a computer screen before, so that's not a novelty. But seeing it, in a way that is provides value or increases value, it's a little bit strange. It's like seeing yourself on on TV or whatever. I mean, like this is going to be, if I watch the YouTube video, it's going to be a bit of a weird thing. I'm not much of an in front of the camera kind of guy. I'm sort of usually more behind the camera. But
right.
So it's weird seeing my face on a card, and it's even weirder seeing people think there's value in that. And obviously the NFT thing is pretty new.
Definitely.
I'm no spring chicken, so trying to get my head around all that is it's just yet another learning curve on the road to phase 5 or whatever. But
I know
it's great.
Sorry. When they first started with NFT cards, I was like, I don't know a thing about NFTs, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at it a little bit, and I've collected a couple. I think I even have one of yours. And I'm like, all right, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome.
I like the idea. It's a great concept, and one of the things I was really looking forward to in the early, parts of the game was a lot of micro economies within the game. So, for example, designing, building houses or furniture or various products within the game, and then selling them in a marketplace. We're talking about like phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 type of situation. But also the macro economies outside of the game. And we've seen a couple of things like various stats sites that are operating outside of the actual game, but, drawing from the game. So things like NFTs, that's fantastic that we've got an entire industry outside of the actual game that is tied to the game. So it bodes really well for the future of the game that we have all these economies within and without the game, and we'll see many more of those. I suspect as tile prices increase, we might have room for individuals to work as consultants, as E2 purchasing consultants for whales who come along and want to spend $100,000 worth of tiles and maybe need somebody to show them around, or there are an endless number of possible jobs can come from this, an endless number of possible ways that people can make money out of this.
I agree 100%. I think, like you said, especially once we get to like later down the road. So in Earth2 official website, it even says that it wants its communities to create a virtual ecosystem between the communities involved, and I think like right there it is, straight from Earth2. So it's like
exactly, ecosystem's a good word, so it's supporting itself and feeding itself. Each part feeds another part of the the big machine, I guess, the big ecosystem where every little cog and wheel affects everything else. And it's a good system that, if you do better out of the game, it basically means I do better out of the game.
Right.
So the better you do, the better I do, the better everybody else does, and it's a win-win situation whenever anybody buys a tile. I
Agreed.
think at this point. Hmm.
You said it best. It's a win-win situation for all that joins Earth 2, and even just buys a couple tiles and just let it sit. Because I mean that value will increase over time, and it's just mind blowing how much
Mm.
it has. Like I mean, I've seen like the leaderboards. There's people on there that's already over $1 million in net worth. I'm just like,
Oh
wow.
yeah, and that's that leaderboard. I'd anticipate that leaderboard's going to look like VHS technology in not too much longer. If you know what I mean, it'll be outdated. A lot of those names that are on there at the moment, as we start attracting more waves of new waves of players, and especially the whale players, as the level of risk in the game goes down, more people are going to be more likely to throw more and more money at it. So, we're all hoping to see some more of these whales come through. And I suspect they're going to completely disrupt that leaderboard and completely disrupt the game to a large extent as well. We're going to see, some shifts based on the new types of players that we start getting in, and
Right.
also the, shift in tile price as well.
Right, and I know since Earth 2 is still new, there are still a
Mm.
lot of skepticals out there about Earth
Mm.
2, saying it's a scam or saying it's something of that. If you were talking to someone that's never heard of Earth 2 before, only heard bad things about it, what would you say to change their mind about Earth 2?
Well, look, at the end of the day, if somebody has got it in their head that they don't want to be a part of something, they're not going to be a part of it. All I can do is tell them that I've done my own research, and there are certain aspects of the game I'm not thrilled about, but at the same time, I'm satisfied that it's not a scam. That's all I can say. I've done
Right.
my research, and at the end of the day, it comes down to a gut feeling, and I know these guys are working hard. They do care about the project, and to be honest, if they wanted to cut and run with all the money now, they could, but they'd be stupid too, because there's a hell
Oh
of a lot
yeah.
more money in it for them the longer they wait around.
And I remember the first time I heard about it, I was thinking of like Ready Player One, the movie, and
Mm.
just the whole ecosystem that it had, and that's how I joined. I was just the same way, just ecstatic about it, and I
Mm.
never really had a fear that it was a scam or anything. It was in the back of my head, but I never actually brought it to
Mm.
light. And then more and more people started coming about it, and it's funny because like the Earth Two Discord that a lot of people in there today were just talking a lot bad about the devs and what happened with the islands. A lot of those are new people that's joined within the last couple weeks almost.
Mm.
And there's been some of us that's been here since November, December, January, who's been through the Dubai still, and we've been through a lot when the whole
Yeah.
server's been shut down. Like I don't understand that like I don't think people would put that much time and effort into something just to scam people out of it. That's just my opinion on it,
No.
but
And we've already seen a number of clones popping up, such as V Park and After Earth, and I think they're in the same boat. Look, they're pretty half-assed about it, to be honest. They're
right,
not very good, and they're straight up copycat. But at
definitely,
the same time, they've even seen. I don't think they're scams either. They may have started off thinking that easy money, but they're actually developing those as well, because I'm sure they understand as well. There's a hell of a lot more money in it for them if it becomes successful.
definitely,
And so, Earth 2, being the leader of the pack, is in a prime position to work with that. Whether or not there are copycats out there, there are always going to be copycats. Earth 2 is in a great position because they've taken the time to plan and develop their plan. And hasn't always worked, to plan,
definitely.
but they've got a plan, and they're moving ahead. They've got a semi-clear vision of where they want to be.
I agree 100%, and I'm excited for what the future holds for Earth 2.
Mm.
I think there's endless possibilities with it, and even if you join now, I still think there's going to be endless possibilities. But
Absolutely.
So I do have one last question. It's the last question of this segment. It's going to be Would
Yeah,
You
sure.
Rather? So I'm going
Hmm.
to give you two different scenarios, and you're going to have to explain which one you would rather do and
Okay.
why. Okay? So I did hear earlier you said about you were talking about cat food. So this one might be a little fun. So would you rather have a dog with a cat's personality or a cat with a dog's personality, and why?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. It's a pretty off center kind of question. I like cats and dogs, and I've probably spent more time with cats. I think dogs with cats' personalities don't really work so much. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just sort of a bit of an odd thing. You know, like cats. I've also met cats with dog personalities too, and they tend to be pretty interesting as well. I'd prefer a cat with a dog personality, to be honest. I think.
Definitely, I would have to agree with that. I'm a huge dog lover myself.
Yeah.
My wife's a cat lover, and we have both here in the house. But a dog with a cat's personality. Just think about it. If you see cats jump around from like a table to the floor, and you have a Great Dane that has a cat personality, I think it's going to
That's
jump
not
up
going to
on the
work.
counter.
No, that's not going to work, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
think.
I think.
Oh,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
on.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say that dogs with cat personality tend to be more of a like a needy thing, I think, than cats tend to be independent, but dogs when they take on cat personalities tend to be sort of more needy and more attention seeking, I guess. Than it sort of tends to work the other way with cats with dog personalities, kind of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I agree on that 100%. And
Mm.
but you know what? I thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's been
Yeah. No
wonderful
worries.
being able to talk to you about it. Like I said, I will drop the Kraken website in my description as well, and also
Sure.
I'll drop a Pirate Bay, the link in Earth 2 to Pirate Bay in my description as well, so that the viewers can be able to see that. And for everyone that's watching, I thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment what the best part was. And everyone, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your evening.
Thanks, guys.